I am making a peach ring water. We're starting out with a Sunkist peach packet, and then I'm doing 3 pumps of cherry. I feel like all gummies have some kind of vanilla aspect, so I added 1.5 pumps of vanilla almond.
What the fuck?
Overall, this water was...
Oh, dude, I seen that shit, bro. Stop adding shit to your water, man. Just drink the fucking water. Water is good. Crispy cold water. It's got a smooth texture. It's nice and thin. Goes down easy. It's got that good, you know, it just gets you going. It invigorates you, man. Why do you need to add artificial sweeteners to your fucking water? It's just so, ugh. Water is an S-tier beverage. What do I get at a restaurant? Sir, would you like anything to drink? Water. There's a water fountain. I drink water. If I'm working out, I drink water. Any time of the day, I just drink water. What else do I drink besides water? Coffee. I drink coffee and water. That's like the only, and then some other adult beverages for Friday nights. But like literally, it's just those 3. All right, we can watch this. This is How Addicts Lie. All right, let's take a look at this. How Addicts Lie by Think Before You Sleep.
The front there, you who's 20. Is your life better? Are you happier? Is everything better now that you're slightly smaller than you were before?
Absolutely. And I'm not a little bit smaller, I'm a lot smaller. And I did do research into everything. I can still have kids, and that may not have happened if I had stayed the size I was. Like, my question to you is, can you honestly say that you are 100% happy and healthy? Like, you have no medical conditions whatsoever, you have no problems at all with your health?
I think it's really interesting that I feel like I need to justify my existence in this room.
No,
that's not, oh my goodness. He's gonna jump in, but I just want to say something real quick, right? So I don't think it's hilarious, or I think it is hilarious. Okay, and not to blame the skinny girl, but she's like, do you have any medical conditions? Like, do you know that you're okay? It's like, well, isn't obesity like a medical condition in itself? You do have a medical condition, because it's like that thing is basically setting you up for this domino effect of all these other diseases and illnesses that you're more prone to now, right? Diabetes, heart disease, clogged arteries, etc. So yeah, that's gonna be fun. And I am assuming this is a show where, okay, so this girl obviously lost weight. She used to be fat, and then this obese woman is like defending that she's fat and like why it's amazing or something still, because she's just coping. So that'll be fun. I guess let's just get into it.
I feel like I need to justify my existence in this room.
Just answer the question. You asked her a very condescending question, and now you're trying to avoid the backlash. You can't just throw sand in a kid's face and then cry to the teacher when they defend themselves. Shockingly, the host doesn't let her get out of it and pressures her to respond.
No, but hang on a minute. You asked her to justify her decision.
I asked her if she was happy. I didn't ask her to justify what her health issues now, or if there is any.
But have you got any health issues?
No, I'm perfectly happy.
I'd love to know, like, what...
Do you have any health issues? No, I'm perfectly happy. Okay. Interesting. Gotcha. You know what they always do? I noticed this. They say like, my mental health is fine. I'm not depressed. I was depressed when I was skinny, and now I'm fat and I'm not depressed. It's like, okay. So being fat and having the risk of like, you know, dying and only living half your life is worth it to you because you're not depressed. Very interesting. Sounds to me like something that a depressed person would say. Being okay with having your life cut in half. Ooh, I don't know if that's a very healthy mentality.
Yeah, it's interesting that you've just assumed that I eat bad food because of my size.
No, I'd love to know.
It's not an assumption. All the evidence of your behavior is there. It's like telling people that you didn't eat little Timmy's birthday cake when there's still frosting on your mouth that you forgot to clean off. But all right, let's hear her defense for why she's healthy.
Because if you're really healthy, do you have any joint issues, or so you're completely...
I swim 2.5 kilometres a day. I walk, I exercise all the time. I am in a synchronized swimming team, and I really resent the fact that I have to actually justify my existence and my ability to live in the world in a bigger body.
Okay, but you said nothing about what you eat. You shifted to exercise so you could avoid that question.
There's no way that's true either.
Why would you be avoiding it if you ate healthy? If she actually ate healthy, she would be jumping to answer that question to dunk on anyone who doubts her. Then, of course, she says I swim. You know what? That's like the easiest form of exercise for obese people because there's less gravity to deal with, and excess fat makes you float better.
I didn't even
By the way,
I didn't even realize that. That's actually so funny.
People, because there's less gravity to deal with, and excess fat makes you float better.
Is that true? Does excess fat make you float better? Wouldn't that make you sink more? A whale in water, duh. I guess it is their natural habitat. So I suppose you're right. More weight though. So yeah, I mean, I guess swimming is the easiest thing for an obese person to do, and it's definitely not high intensity swimming either. It's definitely just more kind of just floating, just coasting across the water. So enjoy that.
By the way, I don't believe at all that she swims 2.5 kilometers a day. I don't even think she's accomplished that once. I'm not a swimmer, but according to Google, that's like an hour straight of swimming for an average person. If she had the kind of discipline that it takes to do that daily, then she wouldn't have trouble losing weight. But if you were so healthy, then why don't you run for fitness? Do you even walk for fitness? You cut yourself off when you said that word almost as if it was a lie. You wouldn't lie to us, would you, Kelly Jean Drinkwater? Wait, Kelly Jean Drinkwater? Oh my God, her stage name is Drinkwater. It's always the fat acceptance advocates who feel the need to constantly virtue signal about drinking water to pretend that they're healthy.
What I eat in a day is a fat person. I then had some more water because I'm skinny and hungover.
I'm making a peach ring water. We're starting out with a Sunkist peach packet, and then I'm doing 3 pumps of cherry. I feel like all gummies have some kind of vanilla aspect, so I added 1.5 pumps of vanilla almond.
What the fuck?
Overall, this water is...
Oh, dude, I seen that shit, bro. Stop adding shit to your water, man. Just drink the fucking water. Water is good. Crispy cold water. It's got a smooth texture. It's nice and thin. Goes down easy. It's got that good, it just gets you going. It invigorates you, man. Why do you need to add artificial sweeteners to your fucking water? It's just so, ugh. Water is an S-tier beverage. What do I get at a restaurant? Sir, would you like anything to drink? Water. There's a water fountain. I drink water. If I'm working out, I drink water. Any time of the day, I just drink water. What else do I drink besides water? Coffee. I drink coffee and water. That's the only, and then some other adult beverages for Friday nights. But literally, it's just those 3. Creamy milk over water. I mean, milk's fine, but sodas and Prime, Red 40, synthetic dyes, sucralose, Splendia. Dude, you don't need that crap. Just drink water. And then coffee is a natural bean and then water. And then it's mixed in together. And then I guess milk is fine. But just drink water, dude. Or carbonated water if you can't do water. I quit Monster. I finally quit Monster, guys. It's only coffee now. See?
Wanted you to know that I drink water. I don't only drink soda all day. But anyway, these clips of Kelly Jean
There is literally no benefit to drinking soda. Zero benefit. No benefit whatsoever. Soda is just, it tastes good, I guess, but it is so fucking bad for you. If you want sugar, just have a donut. Have a donut or something. Or a munchkin. Soda is so shit.
Water are from a 2013 Australian broadcast called Fat Fighters. That time period appears to be a wonderful moment in TV history where a mainstream media host actually pushed back on some of the very dumb things that fat acceptance advocates say. Dumb things like this.
I just think that how the way the discussion is running is very indicative of the general prevailing attitude towards fatness and the refusal to even accept that potentially there can be other ways of living in a healthy body.
Yeah, except that's scientifically untrue. Sure, you can live in a bigger body when you're under 40. As far as I can Google, she was around 400 pounds when this was filmed, but was in her early 30s, so of course she's okay.
Also, what's with this whole wordsmithing thing, where they're like, I'm not fat, I just live in a bigger body. It's like they're talking like they're wearing a suit or something. I'm in designer. I'm in a coat. I'm in a bigger body. It's no, you are the bigger body. That's you. They're acting like they're in this vessel. I guess we all are technically in a flesh vessel, but the way they talk about it, it's like it separates them from what they are, their body. It's so fucking weird to me. I live in a bigger body. I live in a big house. I live in an apartment. I'd live in a bigger... It's just so weird to me. You're just fat. You are fat. You're just fat, bro. You're a fat person. And that's something I think you should honestly, when you're reaching a certain age and a certain weight, you have to look at, seriously combating, or else you're in for some fun. You're in for some fun when it comes to the health issues, the low life expectancy, the medical bills, the immobility, the inaccessibility of basic transportation and things in society in general. So have fun with that. The exhaustion, the depression, the comorbidity, it's going to be great. So enjoy that.
However, the actual problem is that you don't live nearly as long as a thin person when you're 400 pounds, and you're cutting your life in half so you can eat more poorly made hamburgers from McDonald's.
Pathological behavior is the proclivity to gain in the short term but lose in the medium to long run.
Right. That's a simple definition of pathological behavior. It's sacrificing your future for instant gratification or a short-term win. Now, I'm not exactly sure what happened to Kelly because she's been out of the media for a number of years, but eventually she does mention her diet.
I just want to know what are you eating? I just want to know, and I'll tell you what I eat, and we can work out.
So that's what it comes down to. What you're saying is incredibly it's such a small equation that you want to know what I eat. I eat salad.
No, oh brother, that'll be great. Well, I can't wait to hear the rest of that. But it's not fucking complicated. Calories in, calories out. That's so simple. Literally, put your weight, put your height, and your age into a calorie calculator. It'll tell you how much you need to maintain your weight, how much you need to eat to lose your weight, and how much you need to eat to gain weight. If you're bulking, you gain. If you're cutting, you lose. If you're maintaining, you maintain. It's so fucking simple. Calories in, calories out. How much you eat versus how much calories you burn, etc. So simple. Also, did I hear you said you eat salad?
I know what I eat. I eat salad. I eat meat. I don't eat carbs because they don't agree with me. I eat a lot of fruit and vegetables. I'm primarily vegetarian.
She says I don't eat carbs because they don't agree with me, and then proceeds to virtue signal about how she eats fruits and vegetables, which are full of carbs. Oh my God, she knows so little about food that she thinks the only things that have carbs in them are bread and pasta.
Yeah.
And then she calls herself a vegetarian after saying that she eats meat. There's no primarily a vegetarian. You either are a vegetarian or you aren't.
I mean,
just like with the exercise, I don't believe anything you're saying at all. I've shown plenty of examples on this channel of people her size claiming to eat salad, but they dump like 500 calories of butter or mayonnaise all over it. I mean, she's obviously pretending because she only mentions eating things that people perceive to be healthy.
I eat healthy. I eat fruit and salad. It's because it's totally about like the optics of like appearing healthy and like, well, I just spawned in this big body and all I do is eat healthy foods. You guys know the healthy foods, greens. I eat my leafy greens, salad and fruits. Like, bruh. Also, yeah, that's like me saying I watch basketball. But what players do you know? Curry, LeBron, Michael Jordan. Oh, okay, yeah, so you definitely watch basketball. You definitely just don't know the biggest players of all time or anything. Oh, and Kobe, he's really good. You know Kobe died, right? What? Oh, yeah, I knew that. Like, no, you don't.
I eat salad, but not bread because bread is bad. Also, I watched Forks Over Knives on Netflix last week, so I'm going to say that I'm a vegetarian because that documentary made it sound healthy. No one eats as flawlessly as she pretends to. She's such a bad liar. Personally, though, I would rather pressure her on exercise because it's a lot easier to prove that she's lacking in physical fitness by throwing her against an average thin person in a 1-mile run than it is to monitor everything she eats. But I cannot stress enough that when fat acceptance advocates say that they don't eat that much, or they say they exclusively eat healthy foods, they are lying. Which brings me to my new favorite obsession, a show called Secret Eaters. I can't believe I only learned about this show recently, because in my opinion, it does an even better job at exposing how much these people eat than My 600-Pound Life does. The way they do that is by putting cameras all around the house of the people on the show, have private investigators follow them everywhere, and recruit their family to tattle on them for
Yo, security cams like Five Nights at Freddy's when they're eating. Oh my goodness. That is crazy. Nah, because Five Nights at Freddy's, you look at the cameras, he moved. Freddy moved. He moved from this room to that room. Five Nights at Fatty's. Oh my goodness. But no, it's literally like you're checking the cams. Brum, 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 brum. Yo, she's eating. That's so funny, bro. It's literally a show about spying on fat people. That's so funny. Being paid to snitch on fat people, man. That's legendary.
5 days. And then when they've told the people being filmed that they stop recording, they continue to record them to see if they were cheating during the time that they knew they were being filmed. Let's see a little bit from an episode with Tracy and Kelly. A different Kelly this time.
I'm on my way to visit two lovebirds from Hull, 38-year-old Tracy Williams and 27-year-old Kelly Kane, who met 2 years ago at the local cake factory where they both work.
You've both put on 4 stone?
Yeah.
2 stone a year you've put on?
Yeah.
Wow.
2 stone in a year? Holy crap, that's like 28 pounds or 12.7 kilograms in a year. Let me put that in perspective for you of how much food it takes to gain that kind of weight in such a short amount of time. For the past 9 months, I've been bodybuilding. I started out with what's called recomposition, which is a method of gaining muscle that allows you to make gains while either losing weight or maintaining your weight. But honestly, I was already thin and recomposition took too much discipline, so I switched to bulking and cutting. For probably 8 months of that, many times a week, I was absolutely eating way more calories than I needed, even more than the 500 calorie or so daily surplus that's recommended for bulking. Some days I completely stuffed my face, particularly if it was a day where I accidentally waited too long to eat. I put on about 15 pounds in that 8 months, which would be roughly 22 pounds in a year. I'm cutting that weight now and I've already lost about 6 pounds of it, but holy crap. To gain the kind of weight that they gained, they must have been stuffing their faces constantly. However, that's not what they report. They said they eat healthy.
I'm eating like healthy cereals, sometimes strawberry granola, sometimes muesli. Eating more salads. I get like the light mayonnaise. Well, it's actually extra light extra like mayonnaise.
It doesn't sound like you're eating that much.
When you look at it, we don't. It's like, well, why am I so big if I'm not eating that much?
See? I don't eat that bad. I have total cereal for breakfast. Well, first of all, I don't think cereal is healthy at all. Most cereals contain a lot of added sugar, and even if they don't, at best you're eating flavorless
It's a lot of carbs.
processed wheat instead of a natural food.
Yeah. Most cereal is like highly processed, and it's got like wheat, honey. Well, honey's actually like, good for you, but it's just like processed crap. It's mostly just like a snack. It's like goldfish, the snack that smiles back, but you can put it into a bowl of milk and eat it. And it's just for some reason accepted because there was this push, I forget when, but I heard about this by I think either General Mills or Kellogg's back in like the 90s to start the campaign that like breakfast is like the first meal of the day, and it's the most important meal of the day, and you need to have something for breakfast, and like not eggs, because eggs were high in cholesterol or something, which is, I don't want to get into the whole eggs thing, but eggs are way better for you than cereal is. And there was this push that you should be having cereal for breakfast, and they basically just like lied to consumers about like a bunch of stuff. And since then, like the damage is irreversible. Like everyone thinks like, oh, cereal for breakfast, it's totally fine. Eating cereal for breakfast is like a pint, is like eating a pint of ice cream for breakfast, bro. I completely agree. I mean, not like a pint, but like, yeah, I mean, they're very similar. If you want a good breakfast, just have scrambled eggs with a glass of water. I don't know, is avocado toast okay? Yeah, eggs is usually pretty good. I don't even eat breakfast. Or like, yeah, or like a banana, some fruit, some potassium. Dude, I honestly, all I do for breakfast is just a cup of coffee now. I just have a cup of coffee. And then I don't eat until lunch. I guess it's like intermittent fasting, so. Or like a protein shake is not bad. Pancake mix is probably not great for you, but you know.
She said her cereal was strawberry flavored, so it probably has added sugar. Also, like I said earlier, she throws mayonnaise on her salad, which destroys the point of eating a salad. I in no way believe that she uses the low-calorie mayo every time she eats salad. Second, it was revealed at the end of the episode that she never actually eats the cereal. She just had it as an option to eat, but actually eats junk food instead. Which means, how do we even know that she eats the salad? Now, while they're filming, they asked the people on the show to make a food diary to get a baseline of how much they think they're eating. Let's see how much Tracy thinks she eats.
We asked the girls to complete a food diary. And according to Tracy's diary, it's a mystery.
Oh, damn, she playing Xbox?
Why she's not losing weight.
It's a mystery. Friday, 2 cups of coffee, big plate of southern fried chicken and chips, chocolate bar, glass of milk. Okay, that's all she ate all day. That's not bad at all.
She claimed
that's probably what, like 1,800 calories?
a lean average of just over 1,500
There you go. What did I say? 1,800? So pretty close.
calories per day.
And now you might see why I never believe it when obese people report that they don't eat that much. Tracy recorded that she eats 1,500 calories in a day, which cannot be true, because that puts her at a 400 to 500 calorie deficit, meaning that she would be thin if this number was accurate. However, what typically happens is that these people often have no idea how many calories their meals are, and I think that a different episode of Secret Eaters shows that best when they discuss how many calories this girl's chili dog meal had.
Corey started a hot dog chili meal with 2 jumbo hot dog rolls, 404 calories.
Damn, the roll is 400 calories? To be fair, that one would sneak up on me.
Added 4 hot dogs, 188 calories.
Yeah, the roll is more than the dog. That's crazy.
On top of that, she added some tinned chili con
That fucking looks good, I won't lie.
carne.
What fucking rolls are these, bro? Wouldn't rolls be like 80 calories? That's insane.
2 tablespoons of soured cream, 113 calories.
Dude, those look good, though.
Reduced fat grated mature cheddar cheese.
There's no way that cheese is 211 calories for that much.
211 calories.
Oh, 200 a roll? That's still a lot.
Brought the total meal to 1,428 calories.
Obese people will often eat
that makes sense.
these super calorie dense
For both of them, that makes sense.
meals as a snack and have no idea of how much they're actually eating. But when they ask the person who made this meal how she eats, she reports that she eats super healthy. She cooks her own food.
That does look fucking bussin', bro. I won't lie. One thing I will say about fat people is, like, if they're making their own shit and they're not just, like, door dashing everything they're eating, they gotta be fucking good at cooking, bro. Like, they usually be making some good shit. They be chefing it up. But you know what? I thought about this, too. Because someone argued with me on this, right? All right, so there's this show called Chopped. It's on Food Network, where it's basically, like, 4 chefs, and they're given these ingredients, and they're like, make a make a meal for us to enjoy with only these ingredients. And at the end of every round, because there's different rounds, someone gets eliminated, right? So round 1 is like 4 people, round 2 is 3, round 3 is 2, and round 4 there's like a winner or whatever. I don't know, something like that. And every round, they have to make a meal, whatever. And some people fuck it up because it's like you don't know how to use these ingredients. But there was a fat judge on the show. I think it was my dad who said like, well, she can't be a good judge of this. She's just gonna eat it all or whatever. It's like she's not gonna distinguish which one's good and bad. She clearly can't judge, or she's not very picky or whatever. It was funny. It was like she's not gonna care. She'll some shit like that. It's like, how is she gonna know what's good and bad if she just eats everything in front of her or something? I don't know. And I thought about it and I was like, she doesn't really judge good or bad, has she? So I thought that was funny.
He always cooks healthy, home-cooked meals.
Most of the stuff I eat is quite fresh. Like, I love cooking.
Queso.
Yeah, she eats those hot dogs and chili fresh out of the can.
Ew.
Again, can you see why I don't trust anything obese people say
Canned hot dogs?
when they report how healthy they eat? You have Miss Drinkwater from earlier who has no idea what carbohydrates are, and this girl here who calls pouring things out of a can cooking. You didn't make that chili. Someone else did and put it in the can for you. The ridiculous part is that chili isn't even that hard to make. All you have to do is throw ingredients into a crock pot and wait for a few hours. So she basically has no cooking skill. Getting back to the original episode of Secret Eaters, Tracy reported that she eats 1,500 calories in a day. How much does her partner Kelly say she eats?
Kelly's diary shows a calorific intake of almost 2,300 calories a day, which is more than the typical daily average, but still doesn't explain her huge weight gain.
That's probably a little bit more accurate than her counterpart, but there is no way she gained 28 pounds in a year from eating at a slight calorie surplus. There's information all over this show that suggests that their food diaries are incorrect, like shots of them eating candy bars, donuts or eclairs, and drinking sugary orange juice. Now,
I'm sorry, who just has like candy around their house? I don't even own candy. I have a chocolate protein bar with like a tiny ass bit of chocolate, but I don't even like, when's the last time I even had candy? Am I tripping, or does like, I feel like I don't even eat candy anymore. I don't like eat sweets. I guess I have like the protein chocolate milk and like chocolate protein bar, but I don't like eat candy or like donuts. So maybe I'm just not, maybe I'm the exception or something, but I haven't eaten sweets or anything like that in forever. So
it is possible to lose weight while eating junk food, but because the sugar in candy bars and donuts is so addictive, it is very unlikely that you'll actually be able to eat at a calorie deficit while eating processed sugar. I think one of the best ways to control cravings while you're losing weight is to check the ingredients labels on your food and cut out all processed sugar and maybe mix that with a probiotic. That will make it way easier to resist overeating or binging. All right, let's hear how many calories they actually ate.
You thought you were getting through around 1,560 calories a day. We recorded you getting through nearly 3,000 calories a day.
Double.
Kelly, from your food diaries, you thought you were getting through around 2,280 calories a day. We recorded you getting through 3,650 calories.
1,500 calories a day, Tracy actually ate double that, and her counterpart Kelly ate more than 1.5 times what she said she ate. They also caught Kelly drinking 2.5 liters of energy drinks.
Oh, what the fuck?
In a 4 to 5 day period.
Nah, I can't drink that shit anymore, man. 3K, you're on the money? Yeah.
This is the reality of how much obese people eat.
Hey, Acheeto, have you seen videos on how fast food affects the brain? No, I haven't. How does it affect the brain? I'm curious on that. How does fast food affect the brain? Because I thought it just affected the stomach.
With that in mind, let's get back to the Australian show and move on to another fat acceptance advocate, Jennifer Lee. Now, allow me to apologize before I show this next clip, because I've shown this kind of thing a lot on my channel, but I just want to further stress how often this nonsense is said.
Julius, you're a fitness trainer. What do you think of Jenny and Dorothy being happy with their bodies?
I think that's fantastic. Are you healthy? Have you been to the doctors and they've told you that you're healthy?
Well, I think that's quite a loaded question, because I don't think anyone here who's thin is going to be asked that. So I guess that's what I would say to that answer, that we have to look as well at the assumptions that are made. And I would say you can't actually tell someone's lifestyle or health by looking at them.
Yes, you can. That is precisely why you guys don't like people asking questions about your health or poking around your lifestyle choices. It's because we can physically see that you aren't healthy. Plus, a major part of doctors assessing someone's health is by looking for what are called signs and symptoms. Doctors are taught to assess your health by looking at you. On top of that, you can absolutely...
Yeah, I mean, if you can look at someone and see a tumor, you can determine that they probably have some sort of a cancer. If you can look at someone and see that they have like a giant scar or a bullet wound, you can say, well, they were shot by a gun. If you look at someone with fire scars on them, you can assume they were, they caught on a fire or something. Or like a bite. Well, who bit you? You can see the bite. Looks like a dog bite. You can literally do that with like everything. Your eyes are your friends. You can use your eyes to determine things about the world. If you see a guy who got shot with a bullet and you go up to him, well, hey, bro, I don't want to assume that it was a bullet that shot you. It could have been someone just stuck their finger right through your stomach and just boom and just pierced it just like a bullet, And it's just like, it's just, no, like you can use your eyes. Your eyes are your friend. If you look at a fat person, they're fat, That's why that even exists. Fat person, that adjective is based on a assessment that you've made of them with your eyes. That's completely valid. And therefore you can assume that due to their weight and their obesity, that there are going to be related health effects with that, of course. Obviously. Like, I don't know why these people are going to war with, like, doctors and science, They're fucking, like, it's so weird. They're like science deniers. It's kind of strange. Very peculiar. Just because they want to just feel good about themselves.
Determine things about people.
In a nutshell, your brain gets like a dopamine booster from eating fast food, similar to when you smoke weed and eventually get addicted to that feeling. I guess well, not all fast food is built the same. Like, some fast food is better than others. Like, the worst of the worst is McDonald's, right? But then I think like Shake Shack is probably not as bad. I don't know if all fast food is built the same, Like, obviously, I think McDonald's is probably the worst, right?
People's lifestyle based on the way they look. Here's a picture of a guy who has a lot of muscle. The only way he can achieve this is if he exercises, which means I can look at him and determine that he does resistance training solely based on his appearance. So just know that fat acceptance advocates have been repeating this nonsense since at least 2013, and we know it's nonsense because Jennifer flat out refuses to talk about what she eats.
Julius asked you before, Jenny, what you ate, and you avoided the answer.
No, I answered the question differently.
But you're saying you're healthy. I want to know. Like,
no,
if you're healthy, I want to know.
I said that I wouldn't answer that question because I felt a lot of thin people would not be asked that question. We're being asked to justify an existence.
Well, I'll tell you what I eat. I'm quite comfortable to tell you what I eat every single day.
Whether a fat person's healthy or not is not necessarily the primary question that I think we should focus on the whole time here.
Spoken like a true addict. Addicts are excellent at dodging questions and shifting people's focus so that people don't question them on uncomfortable topics. So know that when you're dealing with any kind of addict and trying to get them help, it is important to stay focused on the main topic and not let them distract you with an irrelevant issue. The only real information we have on Jennifer's diet is this.
Have you tried to lose weight?
Oh, I tried for 20 years. I started formal dieting at 16 with Herbalife and then onto calorie counting, light and easy, Weight Watchers, all of those.
Herbalife, the pyramid scheme? I don't know if Herbalife still does this, but back when I was in school, and during the time that this TV special was filmed, Herbalife was one of those scams where they pretend they are selling the product to the customer, but they're actually selling the product to the salesman and tricking those salespeople into thinking that they're entrepreneurs, when in actuality, they are the customer. It's the kind of company that It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia parodied a bunch of years ago with their Invigoron episode.
So sign up for the Invigoron system today and take the first steps toward obtaining financial freedom. Invigoron, a business opportunity as rare as the Abani berries themselves. Now, Charlie and I have recently come into a rare business opportunity, and we were hoping you could clear a couple things up for us. Can you look at that?
It's a pyramid scheme.
That being said, you can tell that Jennifer Lee really does her research when it comes to learning how to eat healthy. She thinks that drinking a protein shake will make her thin. That's not what protein shakes are for. Protein shakes are to help you get your optimal protein intake when you're building muscle without getting a bunch of unwanted calories from fat and carbohydrates.
Yeah.
If you aren't bodybuilding,
Just raw
you don't need protein shakes. Also notice that they gaslight people by saying things like, I don't care about being in a bigger body, why do you care?
And also she said calorie counting. I tried calorie counting. That doesn't matter. You have to cut. Like, try cutting. Does she even say cutting? She goes, Weight Watchers, calorie counting, protein shakes. Dude, just cut. Literally, just stop. Stop eating, bro. This is like a heroin addict being like, oh, I count my heroin intake. counting it doesn't matter. Just counting it is like 1 heroin, 2 heroin, 3 heroin. It doesn't matter. You have to stop. Just stop, bro. The best way to get protein is through actual food. Well, yeah, but I'm saying like for people who are trying to build muscle, they have to, you know, sometimes they can't afford all the meals, so it's like, or it's just more convenient to just drink some protein. Calorie counting, we're just trying to see how much you consume, little bro. Essentially.
No, clearly you do care because you're using euphemisms, and you said you spent 20 years trying to lose weight. You also said this.
Well, thinking back to then, I was beginning to get those feelings that I was disgusting and ugly. And I wrote in my journal when I was 16 that I feared that I had the most disgusting body in the world.
Okay, so if you're overweight and don't like it, then the correct answer is to learn how to get healthy, not find excuses for why it's impossible to change. I think this guy says it best.
I wonder whether you think people shouldn't be big as some of the people in this room are. Do you think that's the case?
No, I think it's up to everybody to be as big as they want to be, but if you're not happy with your size, don't try and make excuses and reasons as to why you are happy with your size when you're clearly in your head you're definitely not happy.
Right. Stop looking for reasons to not achieve the lifestyle that you clearly desire. But I think this next part is probably the highlight of all the nonsense that Jennifer says, which is where she tries to lie about the cost that obesity, morbid obesity, and severe morbid obesity have on the medical system, particularly in countries where the medical industry is completely socialized and everyone else is paying for the consequences of you eating fast food every day.
I think it frames fat as a drain on society. And my response is a lot of us work, a lot of us pay taxes. We're not just a drain on society.
Wait, shouldn't it be all of you work? She's like, we aren't a drain on society. A handful of us have jobs and pay taxes. Now, excluding the people who eat so much that they can't leave their house, understand how this trick works. Jennifer is not a tax burden yet because she's still in her 30s. However, if she continues this pattern of unhealthy behavior, then she could easily cost the tax system 10 times what she put into it as she nears the end of her shortened life.
Yeah, so that's basically that. Good video.